lovely people of the internet. Welcome to the first episode of Guitar Stuff in 2024. I am going to do something fun today. First of all, please, I'm sorry, the window is open. You know, like normally I close the window because it's disturbing to have that light. But as most of you know, I live in Germany. Germany in the wintertime is really depressing. It's just dark, cold, gray, overcast. And so I'm so happy that today I actually have this yellow ball in the sky, which is called sun. So I am by no chances going to close my window today. So this is what you have to deal with. It's going to be... Okay, today we're going to do something different. First episode. I'm going to... play some piano. Oh, wait. Yeah. No, it sounds funny, but I just can't stand the pain. I'm leaving you tomorrow. Seems to me, girl, you know I've done all I can. You see, a bag stolen, I borrowed. Oh, ooh. Welcome, people of the internet. Sunday morning, yeah, yeah. And while we're easy, yeah, we're gonna talk about some old chords and the 7 and the 9 and the 11 and the 13 chords, yeah. Okay. So now you know what this video is going to be about. I want to talk about those chords. And I thought it's so much easier to explain that on a piano. Because if you have a piano keyboard, everything is just like so much easier. So let's start off in the key of C. And I would like to talk to you about these different numbers that are added when you read sheet music, especially if you have the real book and you're like into jazz standards, all those bossa novas and that stuff. You see these chords, and I remember, here's a little story of my life. I remember back in the days when I was in high school, I got this call from my music teacher. And he's like, well, Jen, we do something like a little, jazz morning show. We need a guitar player. And I'm like, okay, all right, no problem. When's the first rehearsal and how many songs? And I was 14, 13. I could play all the Bon Jovi stuff and power chords and that stuff, but I have not been exposed whatsoever to jazz chords. And I remember he's like, well, rehearsal is in like 5 hours. We're gonna play Oye Como Va. We're gonna play Beat It. I'm like, jeez, I'll never play that solo within, I never learned that in 5 hours. And Birdland. So I'm like, all right, no problem. Of course, me, right? Like, that's a thing. Like when people ask you to do something and you're like, ooh, I don't know, always say yes. You can shit your pants afterwards, but say yes. I was getting all the lead sheets and notes and chords, and I was stunned. I was lost. I thought to myself, I'm gonna die. Because if you have never seen anything else but major and minor, jazz chords can be scary as... So I want to take a little bit of that fear away from all of you who might feel just like I felt back in the days. The thing is, all these numbers look so complicated and make it look like this unsolvable riddle of like too much information, right? But all that those numbers are additional notes to the chord. If you remember one of the last episodes where I talked about the snowman, which is the chord, right? So let's say we are starting off in C major. C? And you can see clearly here, this is just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? That's my normal octave. So if I take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's my major chord. If this is the 5, this one is the 6, this one is the 7, this one is the 8. If I break down the structure of the chord, it's just 1, 3, 5. Right? So easy and obvious on a keyboard. So the next one, if I just logically add more numbers, would be the 7, which is this one. And automatically I'm getting a C major 7 chord. C major 7 is not the same like a C7. If you have the major 7, it's the big 7. Intervals, another guitar stuff episode. But then you have like the major chords have a certain taste and feel to them. I do that a lot of times with my students in my music school, and I tell them, play this chord and tell me what you feel when you hear that chord. Major 7 chords have this feeling of like soft clouds, barefoot walking on clouds. Like they're like soft. They don't have a sharp feeling. Because the dominant 7 chord, sorry, don't panic, the normal small 7 would be, instead of here, you would lower this a half step. So you would end up here. Feel that? It's like this sharp feeling. If you play a chord like that, it's like, and it wants to go down like that. It wants to go to da ba 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 da. So if you have a sharp normal C7, the 7 wants to go a half step down to resolve to the 3rd, the belly of the snowman of the. That's complicated, I know. How can I make this easier for you? C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, and that G major is a G7. That's the 7. It's got a sharp feeling, and this wants to go down. It wants to resolute in like half step down, and the note that it's tending to go to, that half step lower, is the 3rd of the key ground root chord. Meaning, C is the key, and now I play the 5th, which is G7. And now you feel like this wants to go to. So if you play that, there's your relief. There's a big difference between chord name 7 and chord name major 7. The major 7 is that soft, nice barefoot walking on a soft carpet or wet grass in the sun, like this comfy, that's the feeling of that chord. So if you play, that's nice, right? As soon as I change the major 7 to the normal small 7, it gets this sharp. All right, people of the internet, all you lovely strawberries today learned what's the difference between major 7 and 7. And the next one's going to be about more numbers. Bye!